Hello and welcome everybody, my name's Grace, and in collaboration with PlayStation and Sony Interactive Entertainment Australia, I am back again to bring you guys my PSVR picks of the month. March was a really solid month for PSVR, so without further ado guys, let's jump into my top picks. Starting off with Moss. Moss is a puzzle platformer brought to us by the indie studio Polyarc. Now this might just be the most adorable game I have ever played. You assume the role of the reader and your task is to guide Quill, the cutest, most adorable little mouse ever, through an exciting journey. Now the gameplay is a little different than most VR experiences. You play with the PS4 controller with some VR specific gameplay aspects, such as reaching out to move platforms for Quill and being able to look around the world using the tracking of the PSVR headset to get a better look at paths and collectibles. The platforming aspect of Moss is nice and easy to pick up from the get-go, as Quill runs, jumps and shimmies over and along ledges. I found myself just leaning in and looking at Quill's adorable little expressions. For such a tiny little character, she sure has a whole lot of personality. Now I'm only going to show you guys some early gameplay so the narrative isn't ruined. I think this is one you guys really should experience for yourselves. Each scene in Moss is just stunning. If you do decide to play, please take the time to look around at the environment because it's really quite breathtaking. Considering in Moss you are more of a watcher in this game, I still find myself being completely immersed into this world and wanting to do anything I could to help Quill on her adventure. I would definitely recommend checking out Moss, and I mean, how could you possibly say no to that adorable tiny little face? Next up, let's talk about Superhot VR. Superhot VR is a very unique first-person shooter experience developed by the Superhot team. This is a truly unique game that leaves you feeling like a total badass when you actually manage to pull off a flawless sequence. In Superhot VR, time moves only when you move, which translates extremely well to VR. You are presented with situations where you must plan out an attack route to survive enemy encounters. The puzzles start off relatively easy, but they become more and more difficult as you progress through the game. It's extremely satisfying dodging and weaving incoming enemy bullets and knocking the enemies out with bottles and pretty much anything else you can get your hands on. You can and will die in Superhot VR, but it's important to use these deaths as a lesson on how to tackle the puzzle, and remember, if you sit still, you can evaluate the situation and plan your attack. You'll need to keep your eyes peeled though, because more often than not, it's not just a simple 1v1. The art style in Superhot is quite minimal, which makes everything very clear in the PSVR headset. It also means that the enemies were very easy to notice, as well as the incoming bullet trails, so you can dodge them and live to fight another day. The contrast between the bright red enemies and the crispy white background looked especially awesome when you manage to take them out and they explode into particles of glass. Superhot VR is a really cool experience, so I would definitely recommend you guys give it a try. And last but not least, we have Blasters of the Universe VR Bullet Hell. Blasters of the Universe, brought to us by The Secret Location, brings the bullet hell genre to PSVR. Blasters of the Universe is set inside an arcade game ruled by, let's just say, a bit of a douchebag. Your aim is to survive the onslaught of enemies by dodging your way through the levels and taking out as many of his minions as you can. Upon loading into the game, you're immediately met with weapon customization. You're equipped with one weapon and one shield, which are highly customizable. You can alter the ammo type, the fire rate, the clip capacity, the shield type, and plenty more, which you'll unlock in the armory the further you progress through the levels. There were definitely some attachments I didn't particularly like, so after I got killed by the bullet hell, I'd go back to the armory and swap it out for something that suited my playstyle a little more. When I first jumped into the game, I definitely underestimated the importance of dodging the incoming enemy bullets. Enemies fire bright orange bullets in various patterns, which you have a couple of options with. You can either choose to block them with your shield, but for me it was much more satisfying and fun to dodge and weave around them. You'll also get a higher score bonus by dodging the bullets. One thing that I really liked was the fact that only your head takes damage, so you don't have to worry about your imaginary limbs being hit. Now, it was definitely doable to play this game seated, but I think the experience would be even more enjoyable if you played it standing. However, I think if you played it standing, you would be an absolute sweaty mess because there is a lot of dodging and weaving. Blasters of the Universe is one I think you guys will really enjoy. From the arcadey art style to the hectic bullet hell, I think you guys will have a lot of fun with it. But that wraps up my PSVR picks for March. I'd love to know down in the comment section below what your favorite pick was from this month. But that is all from me today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next month.